Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. This is Math with Mr. P. Today we're doing 7th grade math. This is Chapter 5, Lesson 1. Today we're dealing with algebraic expressions. So, we have the following vocab to start off with. We have variable, algebraic expression, algebra, coefficient, and define a variable. So, the first thing we need to talk about with algebraic expressions is it's very much like algebraic equations. The big takeaways are this: there is no equal sign. No equal sign whatsoever. So an algebraic expression can be something as simple as 2 times x or 2x. There needs to be a variable. There cannot be an equal sign. And there has to be some sort of operation happening. In this case, the variable is being multiplied by 2. An algebraic expression can also be as simple as something like 2 plus x, or 2x plus 3. The second you put an equal sign in it and you give a value for what it equals, it becomes an algebraic equation, and that kind of determines what x equals. So for example, if 2x plus 3 equals 13, x now has to be 5, because 2 times 5 will be 10, plus 3 will make 13, and you're forcing x to be a certain value. With an algebraic expression, not an algebraic equation, with no equal sign there, x does not have to be pigeonholed into equaling anything. Therefore, x can be whatever we want, and we can plug it in and figure out what it equals. So an example here would be n plus 2. We have a variable. A variable, again, is a symbol that represents an unknown quantity, normally a letter. We've been conditioned to use x. It can be y, it can be s, t, v, a, b, c. Any letter can become a variable. So make sure that we have that in mind. An algebraic expression such as n plus 2 is an expression that contains variables, numbers, and at least one operation, like we covered before. It also does not have an equal sign. Here's a real-world link. The expression f minus 32 times 5/9 can be used to convert a temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. In this algebraic expression, the variable f represents the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So what we do here is we are going to write this expression out. F minus 32, and then we multiply that by 5/9. So a good example here would be, or we're going to use f. F is our variable. Again, a variable is represented by a letter. It can equal anything. Again, the value varies. In this case, if we're going to turn our temperature, which in the United States we use Fahrenheit, into Celsius, we would plug in whatever the current temperature is there. So, for example, in this one, I'm going to ask Google. Hey Google, what's the current temperature?
The current temperature in Stockton is 59 degrees.
Okay, so it is currently 59 degrees. So I'm going to plug in 59 for F. Now, this is going to help me convert our degrees Fahrenheit into Celsius. So I'm going to use a calculator to highlight this. So my first step is to take 59 minus 32 degrees, which will give me 27. So I'm going to rewrite my expression here. Now it'll be 27 times 5/9. In order to do this, I need to make this 27 over 1 times 5 over 9. Now, if I'm not mistaken, 27 can be divided by 3, so we're going to do cross simplification here. If I divide that by 3, it becomes, actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. 27 divided by 9 equals 3. So I actually can cross simplify here even more. So I'm going to divide by 9. This will be 3. Divide by 9. That'll be 1. This will become 15 over 1. Or the current temperature right now is 15 degrees Celsius. Hey Google, what's the current temperature in Celsius?
The temperature in Stockton right now is
Hey Google, what's the current temperature in Celsius?
currently in Stockton, it's 15 degrees Celsius.
So we got that correct. I don't know if you could hear Google or not, but Google confirmed it is 15 degrees Celsius here. Therefore, we have solved an algebraic expression. We plugged in a number for the variable, which was f representing the degrees currently in Fahrenheit, and we plugged it in and we solved what the degrees are Fahrenheit or Celsius. So 59 degrees Fahrenheit is the same thing as saying 15 degrees Celsius. So evaluating algebraic expressions, this is just a list of expressions and how they would be solved. So 6d is 6 times d. 9st is the same thing as saying 9 times s times t. mn is the same thing as saying m times n. And then a to the power of 3, or a cubed, is the same thing as saying a times a times a. The numerical factor of a multiplication expression that contains a variable is called a coefficient. So 6 is the coefficient of 6d. The expressions like y over 2 can be written as y divided by 2 or y times 1/2. So again, if a number is in front of a variable, like we're being multiplied by it, that is known as the coefficient. Evaluate 2 times n plus 3 if n equals -4. So this is 2 times n plus 3 if n equals -4, if I remember that correctly. So we are just going to plug in -4 for n. I'm going to use a different color. We would do it in parentheses first, which would mean -1. And 2 times -1 would make -2. And my answer would be -2, and that negative wouldn't be as bent. There we go. And if we look at our answer, it is -2. All right. And that seems to be pretty much it for this. Again, an algebraic expression is an expression that, 1, does not have an equal sign, 2, has a variable, at least one, has one operation, and again, every single part of this is known as a term. So this would be a term, that would be a term. The number in front of a variable is the coefficient, and we just plug in the numbers as we go along if they give us a value. So in this case, 3m plus 4p. We'll do this example and then we'll call this a video. 3 times m plus 4 times p, and they're telling us that m and p will equal 2 and -4 respectively. M equals 2, p equals -4. And we would plug these in here. This would be 2, this would be -4. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 4 times -4 would be -16. And then we're a callback to when we add a negative number. So this is going to be 6 plus -16. This is going to go away. It'll just be 6 minus 16, which will give us -10. So this has been Math with Mr. P. This is Chapter 5, Lesson 1 for 7th grade math, algebraic expressions. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one.